you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Monday, the 9th of May, and they are as follows. Well, I've got four very interesting selections. One I like, but three I really like, and I shall get into it very shortly. So what I've had a pound each way, lucky 15. Decide yourself what stake you want to put on. Don't match it if you can't afford to match it. So let's get into it. So the first selection is Country Charm, priced up at 11 to 1 in the 230 at Catterick, and they're paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse, it's got plenty of pace, and I'm fully expecting it to utilise the draw number 1. It can come from behind, or it can actually make the pace. Personally, if it's going to run into a place at least, it really needs to be up there from the start and utilise its draw of stall number 1. Well, I've also selected another horse by this trainer. Well, this trainer had a winner on the card last year, not in this particular race, but Scott Dixon had a winner on the card at Catterick. I do fancy two of his horses today, or should I say for Monday, and this is the first one of them. The second selection is Tanglewoodtails at 28 to 1 in the 3 o'clock at Catterick, paying 4 places instead of 3. This is the second horse of Scott Dixon, and I also like, I shall get straight into this now. I shall show you the form. I think it's a very interesting horse. So, trained by Scott Dixon, ridden by Jonathan Fisher, the stable jockey. Price, I think this price is far too big. I do believe in taking the price of this horse. Right, 21st of April, it ran at Beverley. Up there with the pace, ran okay, kept on, no impression, yeah? You might think, well, what do you like about that? Well, it was rated 46. A racing post rating of 35, yeah, it ran just below par. But bear in mind, it was his first run for Scott Dixon after, look at the form, 13th of February, 11th of 11, 10th of 10, 8th of 8. So what happened is, at the beginning of its career, it ran for Andrew Balding, and it looked like a progressive horse. I won't say half decent, but not as bad as what it is now. So clearly it looks like it's had problems, because ran over a mile, yeah, gelded, then up to 1 mile 2, yeah, reappearance, still ran a racing post of 54. So if it can repeat any of these runs that was under Andrew Balding, now it's off 46, it'll definitely be right up there. So why do I think it could be? Well, I think it left Andrew Balding's stable with a view to go jump him. It went to Bangor. Chase leader, yep. Jockey said Gelding stopped very quickly. Shortly after that, wind surgery. So after that, I don't know if the horse lost its confidence, still wasn't right after wind surgery, but didn't beat a single horse home. So then it left the Jake Thomas Coulson stable and went back. Well, it went to Scott Dixon. Well, if you look there, when it was with Andrew Balding, it was owned by Lord Blythe. Well, the Farnworth Secret Circle actually took the horse from. 1 second. Sorry, my mistake. It went actually jumping while it was owned by Lord Blythe. But clearly it's recaptured either some of its confidence, or it's got over whatever the problem was by the looks of it. This could just be a case of needing the run. Well, I think a handicap mark of 46 compared to being competitive or relative competitive of 59 or 60, and this was just last year, I think it's got every chance. There's no way this horse should be priced up at 28 to 1 in what is an absolutely terrible race. So that's why I've gone for that one. An half decent ride, and the fact that, don't forget, this trainer, who doesn't have loads of winners, actually had a winner on this card last year. So that's the reason for picking that horse, and it's not a strong race. So let's get back into the Sky Bet. So the third selection is Gadbon in the 4 o'clock at Catterick, paying 4 places instead of 3. I understand this isn't really an each way price, but I started by looking at this horse and I thought, yeah, it's got half a chance. It's okay handicapped, but then I thought, well, I'll have a quick look around and see if there's anything that's like better. Well, I had a good look through, and I couldn't find anything. So I went back to this horse. And I thought, well, maybe I can find a reason for backing it. Well, this is Gadbon. I'm just going to get the form-in shot again. Right, it's off of 67 tomorrow. So it won off £4 lower at Doncaster over what I believe is an inadequate trip. It is. Don't quote me without actually going back, but I think it's like 1 mile 6, 2 mile tomorrow, somewhere around there. So it ran over 1 mile 4 at Ponty. Yep, slowly away. Never got involved in that soft ground. I can understand that, especially for a horse which you can see, you would see generally prefers quickish ground, although it ran okay at Nottingham on soft ground. So as you can see, it's very competitive off 67, because it's off 67 tomorrow. Well, it ran just behind Dance to Paris. Well, Dance to Paris came, I think it was second or third in the Chester Cup on Friday. So it's running in a Class 6 tomorrow, this horse is. This horse is surely better than that. As you can see, it's competitive in Class 4s pretty much all last season. Yep, it left Brian Ellison and went to Mark Walford. Well, guess what? Mark Walford also had a winner on this card last year. So for a stable that doesn't have that many winners, it seems a bit of a coincidence that Scott Dixon and also Mark Walford also had winners on this card. So not only do I fancy these horses in their own right, the trainers actually had winners on this card last season. So definitely an extra tick. So there you have it. Gadbon is the third selection. And finally, Gonzaga at 15-2 in the 440 at Wolverhampton, paying 4 places instead of 3. Basically, I'm going to get straight to the point with this horse. Isabel Francis rides, yet she's all right. She claims 7. This horse will be flying at the finish. Bearing in mind, it normally places, it has never won. I think it's ran 23 times, never won. So this is likely to be flying at the finish. Fingers crossed, this can be its first win of its career. I hope it is, to be honest, and it's actually the last selection to run. But I do think there are some very tasty prices that have got cracking chances. So fingers crossed for tomorrow. As I said, I'm having £1 each way, lucky 15. Let me know what you have. Do you normally include other selections with the selections I give, or do you actually eliminate some of my selections and just have a couple of them? Let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to know what you're going to do with them. Anyway, Charlie Winters, the very best of luck. Over and out. Cheers, mate.